You're having a good one. What's good? What's good? What's good? I know it's Saturday. Nobody's expecting me to do a show, but I'm doing one anyway. Figured I'd catch you at 4 o'clock. I know, middle of the day, nobody's going to sign in, but it'll be a little extra when you get back to your computer, which would be great. One reminder, don't forget to invest in yourself today. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. So we've got a lot of things going on at the moment. A ton of things if you really want to stop and think about it. So Ascension Health, we're going to start with the bad news. Ascension Health got hacked. And it's going to affect about 437,000 patients of theirs. Not only did they get their social security numbers, but they also got their data. That's right. They got their hands on their actual medical records. So imagine what kind of picture that can be used to draw, right? So think about how you might have whatever disease, whatever. I can sound like your doctor. I can sound like a hospital. I can sound like an attorney. I can sound like so many different things. When I call to contact you, use all kinds of things to send you information that you might think is legit because of the level of the data that they have. Okay? That's not a small problem. That's a huge problem. That's a huge problem. And that's going to expose a lot of people, and they're going to need a hell of a lot more than freaking LifeLock. I'm just saying. You're going to need more than some company that says they're going to protect your credit. I don't know that that's going to cover it. I don't know. I don't think so. As well as I think that some of these companies have been lax in their security procedures, protocols, practices. I think they are lacking. I think they all need to rethink how they do things. And 9 times out of 10, these companies don't do that. They don't go back and rethink, reimagine what their security posture is. In this day and age of artificial intelligence and how far you can go with things, they must all absolutely go back and start rethinking what is our security posture, meaning how do we handle security? What are the vectors of attack that people can be taking to hit us? That is an almost jaw-dropping number of people to be affected by this hack. Jaw-dropping. It's insane. It's insane. And mind you, I'm going to put something else together for you. It's not just this one source. I want you to think about all of the places that have been hacked. And then I want you to make a list of, I do business with them. I do business with them. And not them. Oh, and I do business with them. And then start to paint a picture of yourself. How much data is out there about you that can be used to paint a good picture of you? Now, I don't want to scare you, but I want you to be careful about your sovereignty, meaning your data sovereignty. This is what makes data sovereignty so important as we move toward in the future, right? Because as we move forward in the future, yeah, I caught that. You start to realize that my data is my data. My data is not your data. So now here's the troubling part. Not only do you have to contemplate what bad guys have your data, but now you have to start to think about, well, what about that whole supply chain to Ascension Healthcare and who else they shared your data with? And are they secure? Yeah, those tiny little doctor's offices that keep pieces of paper everywhere that anybody can just walk into the room and snatch something. You don't even have to know what you're snatching. You just reach inside, a little thing as you're walking out, a little file cabinet as you're walking out. Just take a handful and stick it underneath your shirt and keep walking. Yeah, you're sitting back and you're thinking they couldn't possibly be that lax. I'm going to make you choke for a minute. When was the last time you went to a doctor's office and everything was electronic? Your first time at the doctor's office, you're filling out a whole bunch of paperwork, aren't you? Literally paperwork. Now, here's something else that bothers you. All of that paperwork is repetitive. All of that information is repetitive. And then they keep all that information wherever it is they keep it. They fax it. Because if they're not doing it electronically, they're faxing it. Yeah. And then so who else has got a paper copy of your information that you see how this goes? But this is almost 500 million people that are affected. 437,000 people is not a small number. It's not a small number. And like I said, if you marry the data that they got from here with breaches from elsewhere that you might do business with, and I'm not just talking about the past few months, I'm talking about over the past few years, what has it been like? Right? What has it been like? Did Sony get hacked? Did Home Depot get hacked? Did just who else got hacked? I'm not saying they got hacked. I'm just saying who else got hacked that maybe you do business with. A little bit of information from here, a little bit of information from there. The more bits and pieces of information I have, plus all the public information that's out there, I get to paint a really clear image of who you are. Mind you, not only do I get to paint a clear image of who you are, but I might be able to paint a clear image of who your best friends are, who your family is. And that makes my story, when I come at you as a bad guy to try to get you to give me money, yeah, my story sounds more real, right? I can sound like an innocent bystander or whatever that says little Jimmy hurt his arm again. Guess what? And it sounds real because little Jimmy really did hurt his arm before. Now he hurt it again, or something else where you have to bail them out of the jail. And I sound like Sergeant Biggs at the local police station. Blah, 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 bloody, bloody, blah. Understand what you're doing. Be aware of all the data breaches that are out there, how they might affect you, and lock down your data. Start finding out what you have to do to lock down your data. And let's, as a group, start demanding that these companies, number one, have to pay a fine until they fix their security. 2, have to secure your information. And 3, they don't need to hold on to your information for that long. Let's suppose you deal with a hospital in California and then you move to Idaho. I no longer need that hospital in California to hold my data. There needs to be more rules around things. That's why I keep saying there needs to be a pragmatic approach to creating guardrails around technology and security. And I know all of you are thinking, well, Eddie, how does that affect my bag? Well, if you get scammed, that's going to affect your bag, is it not? So this is a security warning to you guys to actually maintain control over your data. Let's do a better job. There was another one that kind of goes along with that. I want you to hear this because this one is big. This one is real big. Meta platforms enabled, a study has shown Meta platforms has enabled about 47% of Zelle scams. You know, Zelle, Bank of America and other banks enable you to send money to people back and forth. Yeah. Those are they're saying that they're coming in via Facebook and Instagram with 70% of new advertisers promoting scams. Think about that. 70% of the new advertisers, they're saying allegedly, across the Meta network are advertising scams. What is Meta doing about it? What is Meta doing about it? I don't know about you, but when I log into Facebook, of course I have a Facebook account. Why? Because I have friends and I belong to a couple of friend groups, people I went to high school with. And that's the only reason why I'm on there. That's the only reason why I'm on there. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I go to Facebook. The number of ads that I see now has increased minimum tenfold. Minimum tenfold. I told you guys the other day when I went to Facebook and I hit my page, the first 5 things I see are ads. It's not content from my friends. their ads, literally ads. And then I get to the first comment by one of my friends, and I'm hit with a couple of more ads, a couple of more things from my friends, and then more ads. That means within the first 10 pieces, I'm seeing more ads than anything else. And what they're saying is 70% of new advertisers promoting scam on Meta. And what else it's saying is that Meta made about $160 billion off of that. Now think about that. They don't want to do that. Yo, my man, Rick Ritchie, thank you very much for letting me know that you invested in yourself, because that's a big deal for us. I know I'm repetitive about it, but so many people are not getting educated. It's kind of why we exist. So when I look at Meta, I'm kind of like, holy moly. So what does that mean to everybody? I hate to say it. Don't pay attention to any ad. Don't click on any ad that happens on that you're seeing on Meta. That's a problem. That's a problem. That says that they're not policing. We won't get into YouTube and their ads. You know, they're like mega fakes. Have you seen them? Some of these videos? Michael Saylor, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, name a famous person, and there's some kind of a deep fake ad on YouTube. I've seen so many of them. Are they doing a better job policing? I don't know, because I don't surf them. I don't click ads. I'm kind of oblivious to them. I don't pay attention until I see one of my friends. You want to know what else I do? I do not pay attention to any of those reels or whatever they're called on whichever platform you're on. I don't pay attention to any one of them where it's somebody else going like this. What the hell is that? You didn't create the content. I'm not interested in you. I'm interested in the content creator. I'm not interested in you. You're not a content creator. You're a content thief. And what happens is those accounts become popular. They gain a following. Number one, they make money off of that following. Number two, you want to know what else happens? A lot of those accounts every now and then pump out fake news or fake ads that people react to. Yeah. And people wonder why. I could care less. If my mother sent me a link, I'm not clicking jack. And she knows it. She knows it. I'm not clicking anything. I have a friend that sends me links all the time. I don't click any of them. Especially when they just send me a link. They don't say anything else. They don't say what it is. Nothing. I ignore it. Because if you can't tell me what it is, there's no reason for me to look at it. I'm not going to blindly click a link. Now, how many times I've seen people send a link to content that they have not checked, that they're not aware, send you someplace where that's how you can get viruses. That's how you can get hacked. That's how you can download malware. I'm not clicking anything. Nope. And I advise you, if you're using a browser-based wallet, here's a thought. Don't use that wallet to surf. Don't use that particular browser to surf. So if I'm using Edge and I'm using that for my browser-based wallets, think MetaMask, Backpack, whatever, blah, 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 right? I'm using that for one of my browser-based wallets. That's Edge. I'm not going to use Edge to surf for anything. I'm only going to use it for my wallets. And then I'll use like Chrome or Brave or Mozilla, whatever other, browser there is to do my surfing. Add a layer of security, because I'm not downloading anything over there. Still, you need way more security than that. So go educate yourself on securing your network, securing your computer. Go do that and train yourself to not click links. Don't sit there and click things. You have to have the ultimate in trust in whoever's sending you that link to click it. Be careful. Be careful. Okay? It doesn't hurt. If somebody says, oh, go buy my book. Right? Go buy my book, the GMB 3, The Art of Research, Timing, and Deliberate Wealth. Go buy that on Amazon. Don't trust my links? Good. Go to Amazon and do a search on it. You'll come up with the book and then you'll be able to buy it. Because you know when you go to Amazon, okay, that's real. See what I mean? I don't mind somebody telling me what that link is supposed to be, and then I search for it on the platform they say it's supposed to be on. Great, I'll do that. I'm not clicking your link. Text me a link. Oh, I'm definitely not clicking on it. I refuse to click on things that I don't know. You're not telling me anything about them. Makes no sense to me. I don't click ads. Nope. Not doing it. So that's 2 reasons why I keep preaching to people. Invest in yourself. Education is everything. Investing in yourself isn't just about getting up and doing research on crypto or stocks, bonds, options, businesses. That's not all it is. It's also doing research on your own security, protecting yourself. Just a thought. Just a thought. That's just me. Anyway, what else is happening in the news? So what else is happening in the news? Wallet Connect token, WCT, launched a $5 million airdrop for about 100 million users. So imagine, get some free money, drop it in there, sprinkle, 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 sprinkle. Not a problem with that. I'm dying to see how Wallet Connect does with their new token. That'll be interesting. BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF saw $877 million in inflows, surpassing Vanguard, of course, in terms of inflows, right? With Bitcoin at 110, it was at 110. It's fighting back to get back to where it was. Right now, it's at 109,032, $109,032. That's after dropping as low as 106 and change. Yeah. You want to know what happened with that? Over $100 billion in liquidations. $100 billion in value knocked off the table in a heartbeat, just because Trump spoke about tariffs. Yep. I'm not gonna pull punches. Not gonna pull punches. Right. But because we have higher numbers, over 200 traditional firms, Basel Medical Group, Semler Scientific, others have invested over $10 billion in Bitcoin. That's right. Holding about 1.5 million BTC. That's about 5.4% of the supply of Bitcoin. They're treating it as a strategic asset. Now, I want you to stop and think about this. If you are a regular person and you're not buying Bitcoin, but all these companies are, you're missing out. You're missing out. If you're sitting back and you're one of those people that says, oh, I don't know what Bitcoin is, go get educated. Buy my book. I have 2 of them out there. Buy both of them. They'll both really help you. That's 1. 2, go do research. If you're looking for validation of the asset, there's your validation. Real quick, real simple. Boom. You have too many companies. You don't have any excuses to not be investing in the crypto space. You have no excuses, none whatsoever. None. And I question your investment ability if you're not invested in crypto. I seriously do. I have friends. I'm like, yeah, I love you to death, but if you ever tell me something about business, I'm not going to listen to you. Because you're still thinking about crypto as, it's crap, it's BS, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm sitting back and I'm going, but your bank's got it. Whoever you're investing in, your retirement has it, unless you only do Vanguard. That's right. All the top ones have some kind of a holding of Bitcoin, the most popular ones. So yeah, I stop and I look at them and I kind of go, yeah, I don't know if I can trust your evaluation skills. You ever think about that? Somebody that knows a lot about a financial space, but then they're iffy on doing anything with Bitcoin. Do you really trust their ability to evaluate financial opportunity? I might still get involved with what they're doing, but I'm still going to research it to the hilt, because I'm going to sit there and I'm going to well, how'd you research it? Well, somebody told me about it. Oh, really? Oh, okay. I'll pass until I do my deep dive research. Thank you very much. Love you to death, but I don't know that I'm going to listen to you, because you're not getting it. You don't get it. There are opportunities out there. And at some point, you've got to learn. At some point, you didn't want to do anything beyond banking, right? But then you learned about mutual funds and stocks and options and, whatever, retirement and IRAs. You learned about that stuff, right? Oh, you didn't? Okay. All right. Yeah. I know somebody that invested in, IRAs. So they were putting money via their job. They were putting money in, but they never said where they wanted that money to go. Yikes. So yeah, you've saved some money, but you haven't actually invested your money. Oh yeah, now you're catching on. Now you're sitting there kind of going, oh, that's a real thing. That could actually happen. I can invest my money, but if I don't say where I want my money to go, that's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. Do you think there is a recession coming by the end of 2026? That's today's poll question. Well, because it's a crypto overflow, got to do a poll. And wow, 7 votes, and we've got 71% saying yes, 29% saying no. If you said no, do me a favor, hit me in the comments and tell me why you think it's no. I'm not even playing. I'm asking seriously. Like, do you think, something's going to happen? And I want to know, like, what your trigger, what's telling you, that it's going to happen. What are those risk factors? What's that risk framework that's telling you it's going to happen? Or what's that risk framework that's telling you it's not going to happen? I'd like to understand that. I'd like to understand how different people think. Why? Because it might drive how I think. You might make a good point. Oh, okay, let me take a look at that. Because I'm really thinking, I'm going to have to contemplate that to figure out how I'm going to manage my portfolio going forward. Yeah, not small at all. Former BlackRock executive Edward Dowd warned a 50% stock market crash sometime between now and the end of 2026 due to the housing collapse. He believes that there is going to be a housing collapse. Does that sound familiar? Yeah. Why would there be a housing collapse? Oh, I don't know. Housing prices are artificially inflated because all these big companies went out and bought a whole bunch of homes and are not selling them, but bought them at high prices. Because they're renting them, because they want people to rent instead of own. Because rent your house, rent your car. You get where I'm going? Yeah. Keep people constantly paying you money? Yeah. Yeah, you see where that's going. Raoul Paul predicted, he's formerly of Goldman. Raoul Paul predicted Bitcoin at 140 by the end of July 2025. By the end of July this year. Rick Ritchie, because we could be in one already in certain sectors. Rick Ritchie, ding ding, buddy. You're right. Some sectors could already be in a technical recession. Nobody's talking about it. They're just letting it go. But you see these sectors hurting. One such sector that nobody wants to talk about it. Agriculture in the United States. And people are saying, why would you say that? Oh, I don't know. You have so many agricultural workers, farm hands that are illegals that don't want to get kicked out of the country, so they leave their job. They're not trying to get snatched up by ICE while on their job. And a lot of those farmers are starting to realize, holy crap, look what we just did. Yep. I mentioned that the other day. It's a big deal. Some sectors could already be there. The housing bubble, that could wind up being painful. You wonder why right now insurance rates are really high. It's like 7.5% mortgage rates. Yep. Housing prices are not coming down. People are rethinking, well, I want to sell my house. I want to sell my house. They're looking around. It's like, oh, I don't like that. Oh, I don't like that. Well, I could paint that. I could do something over there. They're rethinking things. Oh, this house isn't so bad. We could do some stuff with this. We could refresh it. Yeah. Because they're figuring out they've got no place to go. I can't afford another house. I can't afford to bump up or even come down a little bit in the house that I have in my neighborhood because it costs too much. Where am I going to go? Yeah. So people are going to be holding on. There's going to be major problems in the space. Rick Ritchie is, he's dead on with that, in my humble opinion, dead on. We have SUI blockchain facing a backlash over proposing a $6 million bounty for the people that hit CETUS. And what is it? What is that number? They got hit for 162 million. It really should. It's normally 10%. You normally provide 10%. 6 million? Are you serious? 6 million. Nah, it's supposed to be 10%. Good afternoon, Paula, and thank you for letting us know that you have invested in yourself. That's what's up. So yeah, I'm looking at this stuff and I'm just going, whoa, people need to stop and think about this crap in a major fashion. Steak and Shake accepts Bitcoin, right? Everybody knows that. They accept Bitcoin. However, IRS rules treat crypto as taxable property, requiring users to report gains and losses and avoid stablecoin conversions to prevent tax liability. Yeah, got to pay attention. I'm thinking crypto and precious metals channel. Have you invested in yourself today? I'm serious. I'm not playing. Thank you for joining in on the conversation. But before I engage, I'd like to know, notice how everybody else is saying, I invested in myself. It's very important. It's very important for us to know, like, have you invested in yourself today? So let me know, please. Let me know, please. What else do we have? Thank you for joining the community, by the way. I will definitely check out your channel. What else do we have? Semler Scientific added $50 million to its $390 million in Bitcoin treasury. These companies are not playing games. They're not playing games out there at all. At all. Yes, thank you for letting me know that you invested in yourself. And I also think he's right about $140,000 Bitcoin. I think Raul Paul is on track for that. But that doesn't mean that we're not in for some really rough roads within the next year and a half. I think the seas are going to get a little bumpy. A little bumpy. We have Solana's attestation service. It's a brand new service by Solana. Now, I might have to eat some crow. I'm wondering if Solana has actually solved its network gremlin, but they haven't said anything. Because I'm seeing a lot of companies starting to hop on and say, oh, we're going to do tokenization. We're going to do it on Solana. I still have a problem. And the reason why I still have a problem is because they have yet to actually come out and say, we acknowledge that we had a network problem. We had been working on it. And we believe we finally got it. We finally nailed it. I'm waiting for them to say that, and I haven't heard it yet. Still, they're tracking institutional adoption. I'm going to tell you now, until I hear that they come out publicly and say that, and let me tell you something, they're not transparent about anything. So I'm not expecting them to come out and actually admit that they had a network problem during whatever time frame and they fixed it. I'm not expecting them to do that. And until they do, I'm not going to want to deal with any company that says our back end is going to be powered by Solana. Our tokenization is going to be powered by Solana. Nope, not this guy. You can, feel free. I'm just letting you know that I'm not. I find it interesting that SUI has the ability to freeze tokens. And did you stop typing? Nah. A lot of blockchains have the ability to freeze tokens. A lot of them have the ability to do that. It's up to us to understand, like, under what circumstances will they do it? And here's the other one. How decentralized are they, and what does it take to freeze a block of tokens? Just saying. But on Solana, I'm not seeing big decentralization. Remember what happened just a little while ago? They had a problem and they secretly had 70% of their validators hop on board, not say anything to anybody, and do it. And it makes me wonder, how did you get 70% of all of your validators to jump on board with that, not say anything to the public? Are they actually independent? I'm serious. Are they actually independent? And is there, or did you hold something over their heads to make them abide by your rules? 70% of their validators went silent on a new fix. They didn't announce it until after it was done. Again, my trust in Solana to make money. I'm pretty sure I'll make money off of Solana. I already have. But my trust in Solana to actually integrate their technology into anything that is real-time dependent. Would I still use them for something that is not real-time dependent? Yes, I would have no issue with that. But anything where I have to depend on Solana for real-time interchange, that's not going to happen. Yo, what's going on, 8Pause? Aloha, I invested in myself today. Thank you for letting me know. I think there is going to be a recession because of what RR said. I don't know what RR is. Please let me know. Rick Ritchie. Okay, got it. Said, and fired gov workers comp pay runs out in September. Oh, yeah. And now those are the ones, I'm going to say those that got it. Anyway, and government isolation will continue due to mistrust. Yeah. Greetings, Turtle Bitcoin. Did you invest in yourself today? I think there's an issue because the United States government is isolating itself from the rest of the world. At the very least, economically. At the very least, economically, we are isolating ourselves. And I just want to understand, because it's only a global economy, how is isolating ourselves a good thing? How is isolating ourselves a good thing? How is picking fights with our allies a good thing? We're going to get mad at countries around the world because we import so much and they don't take our exports. What do we export? What is it that we export? We do export oil. I'm pretty sure they don't have a problem taking our oil, right? We export that. We export agriculture. We export weapons and machinery, some machinery. Yeah, we've got to ask ourselves, what do we manufacture that we export? Oh, we export jobs. Just saying. Turtle Bitcoin, you're funny. Let's make a list of what we export. I want you to think about the fight that we have, the underlying reason for this fight. It's to mask everything else that's going on. Go read that tax bill. Go read that tax bill. There's a provision in that tax bill that says that if there's no bond issued, that's the money part, because the tax bill must be 100% about money. So if there's no bond issued by any court, whatever it is that they're working on, that they're supposed to enforce, if they break that law, there's nothing to do with it. That line is in there. That line that says, so that means that if a woman gets a court order because they've been involved in any kind of domestic violence and they go get a court order restricting that person from getting to them, if that person gets to them, that court order doesn't apply. That court order doesn't apply. You want to know what else it doesn't apply to? It doesn't apply to any of Trump's previous legal losses. Yeah. All those court orders where he was told to cease and desist, they carried no fine. They carried no bond. If they don't carry a bond, they are null and void for anything. That means they're rendered useless. And he's allowed to go do what he went to go do. It doesn't mean that we can't stop him in the future. It just means that those things are going to affect us going forward. So when I tell you to go take a look at that tax bill, it's not just because of what's not in that tax bill. It's also because of what's in that tax bill. Cuts to Medicare, cuts to Medicaid, the foundation for cutting Social Security. What's Social Security? Oh yeah, that's stuff that we pay. We don't get government money for Social Security. That's our money that we're putting to Social Security. So they want to take our money. Oh, okay. I want you to go read that tax bill and see who it benefits. It does not benefit the average person at all. It's the largest ever movement of money from the poor to the rich. It literally is the rich, wealthy institutions living off the backs of everybody else in this country. Go read it. You'll be disgusted. You will be disgusted. And for those people that come back and they say, no, it's not, no, it's not, no, it's not. I'm going to tell you now, those are people that did not read it. Did not read it. The facts are right there. Go read the bill. It's available online. It's going to affect your bags more than you know. Directly affect your bags more than you know. Makes it easier for the wealthy to get more wealthy. They pay less taxes on every dollar above 900,000, while everybody else pays more taxes below 900,000. Yeah. How is that helpful? Oh, and it adds about $4 trillion to our already $37 trillion in debt. Oh, that tax bill also does not offer a plan on how to decrease the debt. When I tell you that we're going to have problems with this tax bill, I kid you not. And this tax bill, because supposedly it has nothing else in it besides conversation around money, it will pass the Senate. Unless we have a couple of Republicans that have the brass, it's going to pass the Senate. And you know what else is going to happen? Next year is going to be a turnover year. Next year is an election year. Yeah. I think a lot's going to happen. All those people that said, we're not going to touch Medicare, we're not going to touch Medicare, we're not going to touch Medicare. They're laying the groundwork to do exactly that. That affects your bags. That affects your retirement. It affects everything that you have to deal with. It makes it easier for big business to do what they want to do to regular people. That directly affects your bag. Educate yourself. Go read that tax bill. Go read that tax bill. I implore you to read that tax bill. Again, like I said, anybody that tells you, oh no, that's not what it is inside that tax bill, I guarantee you 100% that person has not read that tax bill. Go read it. Go read it. Especially pages 500 to 600. 500, I think it's page 504 or something like that. Go read the tax bill. Go figure it out. Don't believe me? Go have ChatGPT give you a listing of everything that's inside that bill and how it affects everybody. Rick Ritchie, thank you, bud. Thank you. So yeah, there's a lot going on. Let's see, what else do we have? Yeah, the bounty, all that good stuff. Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin reaches $244 million market cap on XRPL and Ethereum. And they've got something else coming. They have an AMM clawback enabling on-chain trading of real-world assets and cross-chain arbitrage via Chainlink integration. Boom, and there you go. The only thing I think would be better would be if Cardano did that. But right now, what Ripple is saying is, we've got your tokenization platform between us and our partner Chainlink ready to rock and roll. One-stop shop. So anybody that's looking at, doing tokenization, and they're already in bed with either Chainlink or Ripple, oh, done deal. Done deal. I think these companies are going to start looking at that and start going, oh my God, they're going to start salivating. I think we just saw the catalyst for more real world assets getting tokenized. Big time. Big time. Just saying, there's a lot of stuff going on and we need to pay attention to it. We absolutely need to pay attention to it. And that's one of the big ones. That is one of the big ones. Just saying. So we've got some bad news going on out there. We've got the whole Ascension hack that happened. 437,000 people affected. Social Security numbers and medical records. How? So all I'm going to say is how. Right? So that's something we have to pay attention to. Now, Ondo will be tokenizing bonds and stocks. Highly possible. But I'm going to tell you now, if Ondo does it, it's because they're picking up what's left over from that deal. Think about who the players are in that space. Ondo, XRP, Chainlink, Polygon, Avalanche, and I think pretty soon, SUI, I think also pretty soon, you're going to actually see somebody like a Cardano get involved. Speed, integration, interoperability. I'm telling you, I think Ondo could lose out. I like Ondo. I've got a bag. So I like Ondo because I have a bag. It's not if they said this week that it's happening now. No, they're about to do it. They've already done that. The link between Chainlink and Ripple. Yikes. Yeah, buddy. They didn't have to do that much work. It's there. And they're saying they're enabling that now. Give it a month before we hear somebody actually getting on board with that. I'm just saying, we got to pay attention to this stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on and it's insane. It's absolutely insane. So yeah, pay attention. Pay attention, my peeps, because there's stuff going on and people are not paying attention. And you're going to sit there and you're just going to go, what? Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a big deal. And we should all be paying attention to it. Anyway, everybody, I just wanted to throw out this idea. It's 4:44 p.m. If you're into numbers like I am, 444. That's an angel number. But I just want to bring you some news. It's going to be a long weekend. Am I going to do the show tomorrow? Absolutely. We're still going to do the Sunday roundup. So many things are going on right now that it's insane. If you're not already a member, go become a member at growmybag.tv/sign-up. Become a bagger. It's only $12 a year. And when you become a bagger, you get to read our over 9,500 and counting articles that we have on the site. Yeah, kind of cool, right? In 3 years, we've banged out that much. We're only a hair away from the big 10,000 number. I might even do a countdown for that. I might even be able to say the specific day that we're going to hit 10,000. I mean, we drop over 30 articles a day on average. Yeah, we're getting close. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. If you like what I'm doing, do me a favor, hit the likes, tell your friends about this community, drop some notes, drop some hints to people that they should be involved, right? And like I said, join the community, and please do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And as always, thank you for your trust. Everybody enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good one. Bye-bye.